The shadow of silent wings, unmanned aerial vehicles, and the civilian toll in Africa. The relentless hum of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, once a futuristic fantasy, now casts a chilling shadow across the African landscape. While touted as instruments of precise surgical strikes, the reality painted by a damning new report from Drone Wars UK, titled Death on Delivery, is far grimmer. The report reveals a staggering death toll: nearly 1,000 civilians killed and hundreds more injured in military drone attacks across the continent, a grim testament to the unchecked proliferation of these lethal machines. While the escalating drone warfare between Ukraine and Russia rightly captures global headlines, the alarming growth of UAV deployments in Africa remains tragically underreported. This relative silence amplifies the urgency of the situation, as cheaper, readily available drones, such as Turkey's Bayraktar TB2, flood the market, fueling conflicts and escalating the civilian casualty count. The report meticulously documents confirmed drone usage in at least 6 African conflicts: Sudan, Somalia, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Ethiopia. The devastating consequences are starkly illustrated by the Ethiopian Armed Forces drone strikes against the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF. These attacks, documented in 26 separate incidents, resulted in the deaths of over 490 civilians, a chilling indictment of the supposed precision of this technology. The geographic reach and actors involved underscore the gravity of the crisis. Turkey, China, and Iran emerge as key exporters of armed drones to African nations, fueling the conflict. The increasing popularity of medium-altitude, long-endurance, MALE drones further exacerbates the problem, offering greater range and operational capabilities to warring factions. The Sudanese civil war serves as a particularly harrowing case study. The deployment of drones in densely populated areas like Khartoum's markets has resulted in catastrophic civilian casualties. The conflict showcases a complex interplay of international actors, with the Sudanese military utilizing Iranian, Chinese, and Turkish drones, while their adversaries, the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, wield UE-supplied UAVs. The discrepancy between official narratives and on-the-ground accounts further highlights the urgent need for greater accountability and transparency. While official reports often downplay civilian casualties, eyewitness testimonies paint a horrifying picture of widespread death and destruction. A tragic example: the August 2023 drone strike on a market in the Sahelian village of Buro, resulting in the deaths of at least 28 civilians, an incident that underscores the indiscriminate nature of these attacks. The report's findings paint a grim picture of a continent increasingly embroiled in a drone-fueled conflict, with devastating consequences for its civilian population. The lack of adequate international oversight and regulation allows this lethal technology to proliferate unchecked, exacerbating existing conflicts and contributing to a humanitarian crisis of staggering proportions. The cost of this silent war is far too high, measured not in mere statistics, but in the shattered lives and communities left in its wake. The international community cannot stand idly by as this devastating trend continues. Urgent action is required: a multifaceted approach encompassing stricter export controls, enhanced monitoring mechanisms, and a robust international legal framework to regulate the use of armed drones, ensuring that these powerful weapons are not used to inflict such devastating harm on innocent civilians. The cries of the victims demand a response. The future of peace in Africa depends on it. The shadow of silent wings must not be allowed to engulf the continent in darkness. The silence must be broken. The accountability must be demanded. The future of Africa deserves better than the silent death delivered from above. The international community has a moral imperative to act, to prevent the further carnage, and to hold those responsible accountable for the immense suffering inflicted upon the civilian populations of Africa. This isn't just about technology, it's about humanity. It's about holding perpetrators accountable for their actions and preventing future tragedies. The world must confront this grim reality and demand an end to the suffering. The silent death from above must stop. The accountability must be swift and just. The future of Africa depends on it.